So moving on, so some TV media news. Seth MacFarlane, one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, signs a new deal with NBCUniversal for $200 million to leave Fox, which is now owned by Disney. The future of his shows, such as Family Guy, The Orville, and American Dad, are unknown at this point, but the deal is so he can create original content for the new NBC streaming service, Peacock. $200 million, a lot of money. Doesn't really put a dent in his net worth, though, because this guy's worth a lot. If you don't know him, like Isaac doesn't, he made Ted 2, A Million Ways to Die in the West, and obviously Family Guy, The Orville, and American Dad. He voices most of the characters on the Family Guy and American Dad, and he also plays one of the main characters in The Orville, which is a live-action comedy take on Star Trek. Brody, I know, has watched Family Guy and American Dad, and probably some of The Orville. Isaac, I know, hasn't.
I'm no big fan, but I've seen enough of it to know that he's a pivotal player in like all of the show's productions.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I've watched like American Dad and Family Guy and stuff. I just didn't know who it was really associated with and didn't really care, to be frank.
But I read, and I didn't know this, but apparently Seth MacFarlane actually doesn't write for Family Guy anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's not really involved in the Family Guy or American Dad as much anymore.
Well,
which
he still
I thought,
that's an understatement. He does voices.
Yeah, but he doesn't write, which is
Right, but
That'd be
like
weird, halfway through one of the episodes that they were working on, all of a sudden the voice of the characters changes.
yeah, like I think one of the selling points of all those shows is that, he can deliver the lines in such a way that
yeah. Family Guy is actually one of my favorite shows. Whenever I see it on TV and there's nothing else, I usually flick to that channel because, it's a funny show and it's kind of just one of those things that kills time, but
I
did
think
enjoy
the
Orville.
voices help sell Family Guy.
Sure,
Oh yeah,
I agree.
it's funny. It's funny. The gags, the voices.
I wouldn't, Family Guy's not like it's not a spectacular show. It's not a bad show. It's just, you can always watch it and it would always be somewhat humorous, somewhat enjoyable to watch. Whatever kind of deal,
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen every episode of Family Guy, and I know for a fact that some episodes are those episodes that you find really funny, and the others are like, oh, I can't wait for this to end, But, The Orville, I watched season 1. I haven't seen the season 2, and I think they're making season 3.
I've never
But
heard of that show. What? You said it's Star Trek?
So when Star Trek came out, the show on CBS, the new one, Fox hit them back with The Orville, which is a comedy about this guy. He's in space, run a ship. He has got a crew and everything. It's basically Star Trek, but a comedy, and it's funny because it's not really like, it's sci-fi, but it's like a funny sci-fi. Like they make fun of the aliens, and some of the aliens look like they got ball sacks, and they point that out and shit. And and that's funny. But
Sounds kind of dumb, but
it's dumb, but it's funny. And I haven't watched the other season yet because I don't really watch much TV. But when I do, it's never usually on. So,
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think I think the shows just aren't going to be the same, and that may affect the viewership.
But you said he's moving over to CBS for the
NBC
streaming service?
Universal.
NBC, not CBS.
NBC has a new streaming service called Peacock. It's going to be a free streaming service that's going to hold The Office, Parks and Rec, all their flagship shows, and also some new upcoming content.
So does that mean they're taking stuff off of Netflix and Hulu?
That does mean that they're taking everything off.
That
So,
really
like,
kind of sucks.
At once Family Guy was on Hulu, now it's going to be on this one?
No, because Fox owns the rights to Family Guy, and that's going to stay on Hulu. as Disney bought them, and Disney owns 51% of Hulu.
Oh, okay.
It's unknown, the future. Because if they were to cancel Family Guy, there'd be a lot of pissed off fans. And
Yeah.
he's a huge part of American Dad, too. You got to remember, Family Guy and American Dad have a huge following. If they were to cancel either one of those shows, they'd be pissed. They'd have pissed off fans. If they killed off Peter in Family Guy and like the entire Griffin family,
Well, he voices many characters. It wouldn't just be
I know.
Peter.
but if they killed them all off, they'd have like, what would the show be based on? Like Lois,
Lois show.
Lois and Chris.
You could have Stewie go through his growth spurt and his voice changes from that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because
Finally hit
I think
puberty.
that was an episode.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, there was an episode where Stewie got old.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
really?
time traveled to the future, and he lived out a boring life.
And they could just do the show on that.
I still think there'd be a lot of pissed off fans.
No matter what, there's
Joe-
obviously going to be pissed off fans.
We need more Mike Judge on TV. I love Mike Judge. I love all of Mike Judge's work. We need more Mike Judge.
I don't really know who Mike Judge is.
He's the guy who made Beavis and Butthead. Oh, no, he made King of the Hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He voices Hank.
Yeah, King of Hill's funny.
Yeah. Unlike Family Guy, King of the Hill is a respectable show.
Yeah,
Teaches people good values.
It's definitely better than Family Guy.
If they have to cancel Family Guy, though,
I
they'll
agree.
be bringing King of the Hill back. There's already talks of them bringing it back.
No, they don't need to. It finished its run, you know. Ended
I want to see
peacefully.
more episodes. Like, I think that'd be epic.
No. Good
You
thing
would
was
like
good. Don't need to re-good it again.
I think we should keep making new things. Don't just keep dragging along the stale old things.
Yes. New IPs.
I want to see more King of the Hill.
Yeah, well, get over it. Go watch the 9 seasons he already gave you.